Morning all. I thought the following game is interesting from the point of view of trying to prepare for forcing moves in one's own chess. Playing white was a very strong FIDE master in the US Championship. In round 1, Sammour Hasbun 2-4-6-3, which is probably higher rated than most of us on YouTube. He was playing Gregory Kaidanov 2-5-9-3. It doesn't seem that bad for white here, although black has these central pawns which might be an asset. The knight is being kicked here, so does it really want to go back or go forward? I guess there's an issue with it going back here that white perceives that maybe d4 is a problem, but in this position well, there are still lots of options after d4. It's not actually entirely bad, but the knight could even go forward to d6. But in the game, I mean, if the knight goes to d6, there's opportunities like knight f5. For example, if the knight's kicked like this, there's either knight f5 or knight c8. So even this very simplified position, there's potential for doing quite a bit of calculation. Like knight c8, you can see this knight potentially being chased like this, and this kind of position should be okay for white. Okay, so the knight d6 seems okay. The knight retreat maybe less attractive, because there is a potential for a dangerous pin. If d4, if we look at this forcing sequence, knight e4, there's no check here for knight f6, so rook e8, and that's a dangerous pin. In the game, actually, we see another knight move, knight c7, and I wonder if you can spot what black played here. So it seems as though a6 is in trouble in some way. Should it be defended in some way? Rook a8 is clearly out of the question. Knight's on a8. So how to defend or move it forward? That would leave the b5 square to white. Now if a5, knight b5. So what are the options here? If I flip the board in this position, what would you play with black in this position? If I give you 10 seconds starting from now. Okay, well, Gregory Kaidanov didn't play a5, that would just give b5. He didn't play rook b6. Instead, and this is why I really think it's critical as humans that we really alert tactically. We can't calculate as well as computers, but actually Gregory Kaidanov, he plays actually rook c8, which must have been to some horror to his opponent. Rook c8, because all of a sudden there aren't too many options available for white here. The knight can only take on a6, it seems. It's kind of stuck, and actually white had to resign. If knight takes a6, then can you see the forcing move that black has in this position? If I give you 10 seconds starting from now. Okay, rook c6, and here white has only got one move. He can't take on c5. He's only got one move, and in this position, what would you play here with black? I hope you can spot it. Rook b6, and the knight's actually lost. So white didn't wait for this position. He just resigned actually after knight c7. And okay, so why am I showing you this blunder of the round? Well, I just think, even in simplified positions, it's remarkable, the amount of calculation needed. There's only rook and knight each here, but you need to be kind of on your guard. If we did a quick engine check here, I guess knight d6. White's actually slightly worse though. It seems fractionally worse. But after knight c3, that might not be too hot because of d4. As I say, knight e4, there's rook e8 winning on the spot. So white was probably put off with the knight c3 move. This position, you can see, is okay for black. It's very, very comfortable for black, uncomfortable for white. This kind of situation could actually be a bad disadvantage potentially. So, but yeah, in this position, it seems knight d6 might be okay. Might be the best of what white can do. But knight c7, amazingly, it's just leading to a massive disadvantage. So after rook c8, we get knight takes c6, rook c6, and the best white can do here is give up the knight, but that's not particularly hot to be a knight down. So yeah, knight b8, there's just rook b6. Okay, an instructive blunder, I thought, from round one. So a 2-4-6-3, higher than most of us, I think, on YouTube, just playing knight c7. Just the dangers of forcing moves are immense. I think this demonstrates it even in simplified positions. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.